The Arctic, a vast, frozen wilderness. It stretches across the northernmost part of our planet, a realm of ice and snow that seems almost otherworldly. This is a place where the landscape is sculpted by the relentless forces of nature, creating a stark yet breathtaking beauty. It is a land of extremes, where temperatures plummet to bone-chilling lows, and the sun disappears for months during the long polar night. Conversely, during the Arctic summer, the sun never sets, casting an eerie, perpetual daylight. Yet despite these harsh conditions, life not only persists, but thrives in this frozen expanse. Among the most iconic inhabitants of this icy realm is the polar bear, the Arctic's apex predator. These majestic creatures are a symbol of the Arctic's wild and untamed spirit. Polar bears are perfectly adapted to this harsh environment. Their large paws act like snowshoes, distributing their weight as they traverse the fragile ice. Their keen sense of smell can detect prey nearly a mile away. They are powerful swimmers, able to hold their breath for remarkable periods while diving in the icy waters. This ability allows them to hunt seals, their primary food source, which they catch by waiting patiently at breathing holes in the ice. Their thick fur and a layer of blubber provide essential insulation against the biting cold. The fur is not just dense, but also water-repellent, helping them stay dry and warm after swimming. The polar bear's Latin name, Ursus maritimus, means maritime bear. This name reflects their close relationship with the sea, as they spend much of their life on the sea ice, hunting and traveling. This reflects their close relationship with the sea. They rely on the sea ice not just for hunting, but also for resting and even mating. The ice is their platform for life. They are dependent on sea ice for hunting, traveling, and even mating. The ice provides a critical habitat for them to raise their young and teach them the skills needed to survive in this harsh environment. Their very survival is intertwined with the fate of this frozen world. As climate change accelerates the melting of Arctic ice, the future of the polar bear hangs in the balance. The loss of sea ice threatens their ability to find food, reproduce, and ultimately, survive. The story of the polar bear is a poignant reminder of the delicate balance of life in the Arctic and the urgent need to protect this fragile ecosystem. Polar bears are found throughout the Arctic region. This includes countries like Canada, Russia, Greenland, Norway, and the United States, specifically Alaska. Their distribution is closely linked to the presence of sea ice. Sea ice is not solid land. It forms over the ocean during the colder months and melts back during the summer. This dynamic environment is crucial for the polar bear's survival. It is on the ice that they hunt their primary prey seals. As the ice melts and reforms each year, polar bears follow their food source, making their home on this ever-shifting landscape. Polar bears are patient and opportunistic hunters. Their sense of smell is extraordinary, allowing them to detect prey from miles away. Seals are their primary food source, and they have developed specialized techniques for hunting them. One common method is called still hunting. The bear will wait patiently near a seal's breathing hole in the ice. When the seal surfaces for air, the bear strikes with lightning speed. Their powerful claws and teeth make short work of their prey. The Arctic is an unforgiving environment. It is a place where only the toughest can survive. A land of extremes where the cold is relentless and the winds are fierce. Temperatures can plummet to 50 degrees below zero Fahrenheit. The air is so cold that it can freeze exposed skin in minutes, and the snow and ice create a landscape that is both beautiful and deadly. Yet, polar bears thrive in this frozen world. These magnificent creatures have evolved to not just survive, but to flourish in one of the harshest climates on Earth. Their adaptations to the cold are remarkable. Every aspect of their physiology is designed to conserve heat and energy. Their thick fur is made up of 2 layers. This dual-layered coat is essential for maintaining their body heat in the frigid temperatures. The outer layer is made of long, hollow guard hairs. These hairs are not just for show, they play a crucial role in insulation. These hairs trap air, providing excellent insulation. The trapped air acts as a barrier, keeping the cold out and the warmth in. Beneath the guard hairs lies a dense underfur. This underfur is incredibly soft and woolly, adding another layer of protection against the cold. This layer is soft and woolly, further trapping heat. It is this combination of guard hairs and underfur that makes the polar bear's coat so effective at keeping them warm. In addition to their fur, polar bears have a thick layer of blubber beneath their skin. This blubber is not just for insulation, it also serves as an energy reserve. This blubber acts as both insulation and an energy reserve. It helps them survive during times when food is scarce, providing the necessary energy to sustain them through the long, harsh winters. Section 5. The ice melts away. The Arctic is warming at an alarming rate. This warming is causing the sea ice to melt earlier in the spring and freeze later in the fall. This shrinking ice cover is having a devastating impact on polar bears. They rely on the ice for hunting, traveling, and raising their young. As the ice melts, polar bears are forced to spend more time on land. This brings them into closer contact with humans and puts them at greater risk of starvation. Section 6. A global threat. Climate change is not the only threat facing polar bears. Pollution, oil and gas development, and shipping traffic all pose risks to their survival. Pollutants, such as pesticides and heavy metals, can accumulate in the Arctic food web, affecting the health of polar bears. Oil spills are a major concern. Oil can damage the insulating properties of a polar bear's fur, making them vulnerable to hypothermia. Shipping traffic can disrupt polar bear hunting grounds and increase the risk of collisions. Section 7. Guardians of the Arctic. Protecting polar bears requires a multifaceted approach. Conservation efforts are underway to address the threats they face. One key strategy is to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This is essential to slow the rate of Arctic warming and protect sea ice. International agreements, such as the Paris Agreement, aim to limit global temperature rise. However, more needs to be done to meet these ambitious targets. Section 8. International cooperation. Polar bears are a shared resource. They do not recognize international borders. This makes international cooperation crucial for their conservation. The 5 Arctic nations with polar bear populations have signed a treaty to protect them. This treaty recognizes the importance of working together to address threats such as climate change and pollution. Collaboration between governments, scientists, and local communities is essential. Section 9. A future on thin ice. The future of polar bears hangs in the balance. Their fate is inextricably linked to the health of the Arctic ecosystem. As the ice melts, their world shrinks, and their survival becomes more precarious. We have a responsibility to act. Our actions today will determine the fate of these magnificent creatures. We must reduce our impact on the planet and work together to protect their Arctic home. Section 10. Our shared responsibility. The Arctic, a pristine and remote region, is home to one of the most majestic creatures on Earth, the polar bear. The polar bear is a powerful symbol of the Arctic. These magnificent animals are not just icons of the frozen north, they are also indicators of the health of our planet. Their plight is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our planet. As the ice melts, polar bears struggle to find food and shelter, highlighting the urgent need for action. What happens in the Arctic does not stay in the Arctic. The melting ice contributes to rising sea levels, which can affect coastal communities thousands of miles away. Climate change is a global issue that requires a global response. From the bustling cities to the quiet countryside, every corner of the world is feeling its impact. We can all make a difference. Each one of us has a role to play in combating climate change and protecting our planet for future generations. By reducing our carbon footprint, supporting sustainable practices, and raising awareness, we can collectively make a significant impact. Simple actions like using renewable energy, conserving water, and reducing waste can go a long way. We can help protect polar bears and the fragile ecosystem they depend on. The Arctic is a delicate environment, and its preservation is crucial for maintaining global biodiversity. The time to act is now. Delaying action will only make the problem worse and more difficult to solve. We must come together as a global community to address this pressing issue. The future of the Arctic and the polar bear is in our hands. Our choices today will determine the fate of these incredible creatures and the health of our planet. Let us take responsibility and work towards a sustainable future.